Hello and welcome back to another game on Arena, a 1v1 between FelixAldi in red as the Aztecs and in blue RmcooTheClown, I'm not sure how to pronounce this, I'm gonna go with Remco here, playing in blue as the Turks. And as you can see, the names are not showing here, I'm not sure why, maybe it's because I'm using the offline version of Steam and it just doesn't get the names from here, where you can see them to the other side. So in red, FelixAldi, in blue, Remco, and we're going to see, I hope, an interesting match between two very strong civilizations on Arena. Let's go over the maps first and then see how the players are going to do here. Main gold and main stone safe in the back, as well as a second stone and second gold. So Remco with a very good map already, and the third gold is forward-ish, but only forward-ish and inside. And then far to the back, where on the old patch, of course, the map generation was pretty much a mess. An extra gold inside his base as well. I guess he's not going to find this, or at least not until very late. I'm not quite sure how long this game is going. So let's see, is he going aggressive or going to see? Yeah, stable, obviously, as he's going for the barracks here. But then it's a question, how aggressive is Felix going to be with the Aztecs? Let's go to the other side, see what his map is all about. Felix, in this case, we have the main gold on the side, but somewhat in the back, main stone safe in the back, second stone safe in the back, second gold safe in the back. So actually pretty much the same, and a third gold forward, but not too far forward, and inside. So actually his map pretty much equally good. The relic's a little bit closer to Remco, I guess. There's one in the middle between the two, there's another one in the middle, then there is an extra stone closer to Felix, an extra stone closer to Remco, another relic on that line, on that middle line, nice diagonal off the map here, and these two, this one close and this one a little bit closer to Remco here. So let's see if he can get, and how many relics he can get the relics in, or is Felix going to do a lot of eagles and try to win the relics at almost all cost? It's possible, of course. There's the barracks coming up as he's upping a 28 population, and he's going for that second barracks actually. So he should have a few villagers on gold here, that's a total of 6, and we see at least 4 scouts already. That's a lot, and they're going to be light cav as soon as Remco hits Castle Age. There we go. So 4 light cav on the field against a few eagle scouts for now, and those light cav should be quite decent. Now we have 3 against 2, that means the light cav should all survive here. A little bit of micro, and it's 5 light cav against nothing. The monastery is coming up immediately, and we're going to see most likely second and third TC, because I don't think Remco is going to go with a very aggressive 1 TC play, but instead with a go for the relics and try to boom behind this 3 TC play. That would be pretty much standard. And of course Felix is going to send more eagles, and that's quite a lot now already. Does he have a monastery even? Yeah, monastery is up, first monk out, and now as he's got 6 of those eagles, it's not going to be too easy to engage this actually. Not quite sure how a light cav is doing against an eagle 1v1, but we see 80 HP light cav, and that means bloodlines done. Very important upgrade here. We could even see upgrades, and Felix is saying, okay, let's not try to go for the relic because I'm just going to lose the monk. Instead, Felix is running to go for 1 monk here, and he's losing all these eagles. That was not a good fight for him. He should not have gone that way. He's creating even more, and this is interesting as he's spending tons and tons of gold. That should mean he doesn't have a lot of resources in the bank, and it looks like Remco on the other side, as he's now engaging with all the light cav, as the game once again is bugging out, I guess. He is actually with good resources, and there is more eagles and a monk, actually 1 eagle and 1 monk I feel. Ooh, that's bad luck for the monk going down, and I think, yeah, the other monk is falling as well. So does Remco have a relic already? He's got 2, he's going for number 3 here, and he should be able to get that 4th relic as well. So only 1 relic going back home to Felix map. Felix has a second TC somewhere, no, coming up only now, really late, 55 population, 41 villagers, Remco with 44, second TC now up and running, or actually it's a third, because this one probably is the second TC, as there's a lot of farms already being farmed. That's a little bit, yeah, not pretty, but it's alright. And he's on stone as well, so he probably wants to go for a castle sometime in the near future. A few more houses coming up in the back. He doesn't want to get housed anymore. And there's 1 monk that could just convert one of those villagers, could attack here. That's not really a big deal. And there's still a few light cav inside with +1 attack now. We have a few eagles on the right. Are these eagle warriors? Actually, no, still eagle scouts. Actually, I'm really surprised that Felix did not go for that upgrade. Monk trying to convert. There is 2 monks now from Remco's base, trying to reconvert, I guess. That's a lot of eagles now, so we should see a castle coming up really soon, as Felix probably has 3 TCs now up and running. 3 TC actually on the woodline, and that's third gold. 4 TC, so he wants to boom now, and Remco is close to clicking up to Imperial Age already. 69 villagers, perfect number for both players actually, now on 70, and there's the castle coming up on the left hand side, which is not a perfect castle, but I guess it's okay. Not sure why he's not going for the middle, like right here. That should protect a lot of his base, but it's fine. He is not under heavy attacks any longer. He is actually spending some food, I guess, on villagers and maybe upgrades. Does he have a 4th TC somewhere? I see 3 TCs. More houses coming up. He's taking that second stone now, and he should be able to get a second castle up very soon, as he's got the resources to click up to Imperial Age. And there's only a few more Eagle Scouts on the field to Lightcav, and Felix is not really close to clicking up. He's going for a few archer rangers, actually producing archers already, as he's got a ton of gold in the bank, but he's lacking food as he's going for the 4 TCs here. And for the big economy, 101 villagers at minute 29, but Remco is halfway up to Imperial Age. So his first attack might be very, very important, as right now he's got the advantage, even though he's not in the score lead. But going with Janissaries and maybe bombard cannons to follow up in Imperial Age, that might be a really good first strike. And then you're gonna go with crossbowmen here in Felix position. The crossbowman will only have 7 range against the Janissaries 8, and there's the Lightcav on the field. So if Remco can actually go for Lightcav as well as Janissaries and bombard cannons, which is really expensive obviously, he should be in a good position. Now then again, he's going with the castle on the left hand side, trying to guard that extra gold, and he's not really moving too far forward. Those crossbowmen, they have good numbers, and there's at least 13 that I can see. Janissaries obviously with more attack, even with more HP, but crossbowmen easier to micro, and Janissaries usually don't want to engage against those crossbowmen. We have Imperial Age coming up for Felix, as he's got a pretty base here with a lot of military buildings to the front, and he's even going for more archer ranges now in the back, also starting to go for stone. Actually, he's got a quite amount of stone already. Well, you're gonna go with the castle. Maybe protect the third gold here, it's an option. That's the first bombard cannon, by the way, for Remco, and he's going to attack these archer ranges, because why not? It makes a lot of sense, and military-wise, you are behind, as you cannot afford too many Janissaries immediately. He's going for the wood upgrade as well. And he's sending villagers to take the extra stones now, which makes a lot of sense. He wants to go for castles here if he's allowed to. And we have the bombard cannons now hitting that monastery, and the more military buildings you are taking down, the better for you, as your opponent will not be able to reproduce as fast. He's got pikemen on the field even. Felix is expecting the hussars, but for now it doesn't look like Remco is even going for stables. Instead, he's got enough stone for yet another castle. He's got at least 3 already, and he's opening that gate to move in with Janissaries. Now we could see a big engagement here. We can see crossbowmen moving in against these Janissaries pikemen at the front. The pikemen should fall really fast, but is it going to be enough? Are we going to see nice bombard cannon shots here, at least trying to hit those crossbowmen? I guess a few of them went down in their arbalest. Now they're missing the chemistry upgrade, that's pretty much it. So fully upgraded arbalest almost, missing a defense upgrade as well. Aztecs do get that right. They're missing thumb rings, is that correct? Not quite sure about that. But with the bombard cannons, of course, fighting only at the castle, that's an option for Remco. And that was a decent shot here. Bombard cannons falling, actually, going too far forward. And looks like Felix can afford to lose the arbalest for the bombard cannons. Makes sense. He's going for archer ranges forward now. And we're going to see bomber towers here for Remco. That's interesting. Bomber tower use. Yeah, I don't see them too often, but it's always interesting to see how a player is actually using those bomber towers to gain map control, to secure your base, to secure important resources, or just to attack. In fact, that's what Remco is trying to do now. First 2 bomber towers are up, and they are not easy to take down unless you have siege rams. The siege rams should be good here, and I'm expecting Felix to go for, his battering production is starting. He's going for a lot of siege workshops. He's got decent resources. As for Remco, he's got a good amount of gold, but that's pretty much it. Not so much food, 122 villagers, 46 farmers, but in the long run you want to have more with the Turks. And on the left hand side we have a little bit of a side battle with the trebuchet hitting that castle, 1 hussar moving in, but yeah, not too much happening. The main battle is happening in the middle, where those bomber towers are actually able to stop any pikemen to come close to those Janissaries. The battering rams, it's only battering rams, soon to be cat rams, going down quite fast here. And in the meantime, yeah, Remco finished one of the extra stones. He's now trying to attack this castle on the left hand side as well. He's going to lose his own castle, where elite Janissary production is still going. And those elite Janissaries are fully upgraded, 50 HP. They are really, really strong. And the cap rams are going down quite fast here. 1 single arbalest standing around. And military numbers looking really good for Remco now. I'm not sure where Felix has his army. Cannot be too many military units in one spot. Because there's a few on the left hand side. Actually, that's quite a decent army, but it's still only producing pikemen. And yes, there's hussars on the field. Pikemen makes sense. Of course, you don't get halberdiers here, but the pikemen won't be good against those Janissaries, and you need to find a way to fight against those. I think Arbalest is still a good idea. Maybe elite skirmishes in the mix could help. Atlantic skirms are really, really good. And the only problem is you need to fight counter with counter, so hussars against elite skirmishes or Arbalest, and pikemen against that, getting countered by Janissaries. So it's always a matter of who can get the better fights, who may have the support from siege, which is the bomber cannons for the Turks, obviously. And the siege rams approaching the castle, they should not do a lot. But still, Remco has the map control, and with more army, and frankly with a better army at this point, he's looking quite decent. What can the Aztec player do here? What's the best option for him? I'm still guessing Arbalest. Eagle Warriors doesn't make sense, too expensive. Elite skirmishers, as we said, siege rams make sense. Well, siege onagers might be awesome, but the bombard cannons have 12 range for now, might be 14 range very soon, as Remco might want to get that upgrade in. So yeah, siege ram Arbalest seems like a fine composition, and if the game is getting long, then you have an advantage, as the Turks obviously lack other trash units, and it's gonna be good for the Aztecs. They have at least decent-ish trash, and the elite skirmishers, as we already said, pretty strong. You can win games with Aztecs with just elite skirmishers, more or less, and you can afford a siege ram from time to time usually. We have now elite Janissaries firing away at everything that is within their range, and it looks like FelixAldi is still low on military units. 96 for Remco, that's a lot. And that's at least 6 bombard cannons firing away at elite skirmishers or Arbalest if they can get them, or going for the buildings as well. 14 range now, those bombard cannons are really, really good. And the main battle switched to left hand side. Of the middle, there's nothing more happening. 6 bombard towers, 3 bombard cannons behind, there's a few hussars, but both players are focusing on the left, where Remco is just winning the fight here, it seems. The pikemen trying to close to these hussars, these siege rams moving forward, but there's a wall of Janissaries, and how do you break this? This is quite tough to do. Let's go fast a little bit, hope that my laptop is actually able to process this. We have more military buildings going down, militia in the mix, that was a misclick for sure, and not too many Arbalest on the field. Felix might run out of resources very soon, as he couldn't take any extra golds, really. Not sure whether one extra gold was on the left hand side. Yeah, it's still around. Militia's not going for that gold yet. I guess that was a misclick, or maybe it's thanks to E moment. And the elite Janissaries was just dominating here. The bombard cannons, and that's now at least 8 bombard cannons from behind, hitting everything and killing it so fast. Look at those buildings going down. And yeah, Remco is playing really good. So we are going to see Felix in trouble. He is going with a big wood line here on the right hand side, but he's not really able to defend, and therefore he is actually tapping out of this game. He's resigned. Very strong game by Remco the Clown. Very nice play with the Turks. Went for that very strong elite Janissary, hussar and bombard cannon composition, and won the game against Felix with a technically better civilization. Of course the bombard towers played a role in here, but he was playing really well, invested a lot to castle age as well, and then in the end took the game. Hope you enjoyed this one. See you in the next games. GG.